Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga. I am going to start with a reading and end with a reading. As many of you know who follow me, I've got a couple reliable books of daily inspiration, and I'm using my tried and true, old, very worn out book called The Promise of a New Day, which has to do with my experience, my lifelong experience and commitment to the 12-step recovery. So this is a great way to start. Like I said, I'm going to start with one reading because the two readings back to back, March 10th and March 11th, for those of you who have the book, were so great. In case you missed them, go back and find your book and take a look. So we'll start with that. Um, let's just begin by using your block now to lay into. So I want you to use it on its high side and scoot yourself back into the chair so that you can get that block to be propped right against your backrest. And it feels like it's right between your shoulder blades. So it gives you that support. It offers a back bend to you, which is a heart opener. So if you can lean back into the block on its high side, scoot yourself back so you find that comfortable. And then just we'll adjust ourselves in terms of posture and an upright position of our spine soon enough. We'll get to that in a moment. But for now, let's start with opening the heart, relaxing back into it. So our transition time is pretty, I hope that you'll find it pretty relaxing so that you can deepen your breath, settle in, quiet the mind. You need one of those cleansing breaths or two to get yourself situated. I invite you to just find whatever you might need to settle in now, leaning against the block, using that to support a back bend, which translates into a heart opening. So we'll begin with the reading from March 10th. Understanding circumstances, other people, even ourselves, comes with the passage of time and our willingness to be open to all the lessons contained within a moment. We must be willing to participate fully in the events that have requested our attendance. Then we can discover the longed for clarity about life and our role in it. Immersion in the moment, accompanied by reflective, quiet times, promises a perspective that offers us wisdom. We all long for happiness, an easier life, and wisdom. We learn so slowly that both happiness and the easier life are generally matters of attitude. Therein lies our sought after wisdom. How much simpler it makes living through even our most feared experiences when we have acquired the wisdom to know that the mind we carry into the moment, any moment, will be reflected in the outcome. Let me read that one again. How much simpler it makes living through even our most feared experiences when we have acquired the wisdom to know that the mind we carry into the moment, any moment, will be reflected in the outcome. It takes patience and willingness to live fully enough to reap the benefits that accompany wisdom. Today, let's practice patience. So stay with that nice steady breath as you lean into the block for a few more minutes. Turn your palms up. If you haven't done that already, let's turn palms up on the lap. Use that open palm, the mudra of receptivity now to set your intention for class today. Maybe that reading will inspire you in some way for your intention, or that you already came prepared. You know exactly why you are here, and you're ready to name it and claim it for yourself. Find a steadiness and smoothing out of your breath, breathing all the way in and all the way out. don't be in a hurry. You want to make sure that your primary experience today is that of the somatic experience, the physicality of it. Even if you are not participating in all of the various movements and postures that we do, but that instead your primary experience today is breathing, syncing up your breath, but you're feeling the physicality of that. You're allowing yourself that beautiful experience of your breath in your body. Let's relax the mouth, soften the tongue, soften your jaw. I like to just keep my teeth separated. Just keep a little separation there so you don't have that temptation to grit your teeth and harden in your mouth. One more full breath now. Exhale it out. And then let's flutter the eyes open. I get that block now and bring it in between my knees. That's how I'm going to use it today to begin with. Oops, that's in the way. I didn't think it was, but it is. So I'll move that and come forward enough so you're no longer relying on the backrest, but you got plenty of support for your pelvis, and you've got yourself forward enough that you'll be able to move your legs easily. So let's begin with our vinyasa of cow and cat. So arms are going to come right alongside the frame of the chair. We pull back and the chest bone comes forward. Remember that your shoulders should align with your pelvis. So if you find yourself pulling yourself forward to do this, remember, keep your shoulders over your hips. So the movement of the spine is all within that. Let's find that movement. Inhale is the lengthening of the spine, the arch of the back body. Exhale is rounding through the back into the C-shaped curve. So do your best to keep yourself aligned, shoulders over hips, even as you are moving through these two postures, rounding the back body into the C-shaped curve and coming up to lift and extend. So try to exaggerate the movement, and it'll take some time. It doesn't happen immediately. Be patient. Weight on your body, but just keep it up. So we say, the discipline of it. Yoga has a word for that. It's applying tapas, T-A-P-A-S. We apply tapas, which is the discipline that requires a little heat. Sometimes we have to apply the rigor of tapas to keep us moving when we'd kind of like to stop. Keep exaggerating the movement, and remember, it connects with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's come up to a neutral position, our mountain pose. So arms are right alongside the frame of the chair. We're turning our arms so that the palms can face forward, and that's going to keep your shoulders pinned back. This is a mountain pose in a seated position, and it gives us a chance now to really find right alignment in the body. So take a moment to notice how you're sitting right to left within the context of how your sit bones, how you can feel the bony prominence of the sit bones in your chair seat there, and that you're, again, aware of how your shoulders line up over your hips. So that's the front to back balance. You might kind of tip your pelvis a little bit front to back, tipping, tucking, and tipping. And so you feel that action and how you can find your way into the sweet spot of that right alignment there in the pelvis. Hold your head in a neutral position. Don't lift your chin up. Just keep your head very neutral. Press your feet now. Press your feet to the floor. So it feels like you're making an imprint, and you can feel the strength and the act, how your leg muscles have now become active. I'm squeezing the block so I can feel that central channel. I'm aware of the strength that exists. And particularly, I've kind of been onto this lately, just in my personal practice of really engaging those inner thigh muscles. Those are called the adductor muscles. And that holding the block like this, it really employs that set of muscles there in the inner thighs, because it feeds right into the strength of the perineum. And we do a consistent work, don't we, with that, of of strengthening, toning the perineum. So it kind of all plays into that. Let's exhale completely and then extend your arms into the T shape. Spread your fingers apart. Take a look from one side to the other. Now, get strong with that, the arms held out in a T shape. And then get to know your neck. Get to know how your shoulders and your neck are doing. So take your time, turning your head from one side to the other, breathing through that, gently moving however you need to move. It's all about that. It's all about the neck. And of course, it just gives us an opportunity to strengthen our arms, holding our arms out like this, very intentionally rotating so that the thumb's pointing back. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Now, bring your elbows into your waistline. And we've done this as an L, you know, when we go through the alphabet. I want you to bring your elbows in and don't overdo in terms of how far you're trying to pull your hands apart. Come into some sort of medium ground here where it's kind of like you feel like you've got a platter. You're trying to hold on to this big platter. I want you to just let the hands go from one side to the other. So it's a gentle twist. This is really, if you kind of keep the platter in mind that you can't spill it. So if you just let yourself turn from side to side and that the arms are kind of carrying you, it's just a gentle introduction to really identifying what is your natural ability to rotate side to side, what's naturally available, that you're not trying to, you know, put on your yoga muscles here and really get into a deeper version of this, but it's just getting to know what the natural range of movement is early on. A couple more. We're going to just turn and wait. So as you turn to your left, just turn and wait with that. And then instead of the platter arms, just relax your arms along that side of your chair. Just relax them. Don't get over zealous about the proper way that you're supposed to be holding your arms. Just laying down. And then start with one shoulder. So your left shoulder now is starting to do shoulder rolls. Pull that shoulder back gently with a shoulder roll. But you're adding that shoulder roll to it to see how you can start to open up, loosen up through the shoulder blade area. Naturally for me, what naturally arises for me is that my right hand now is just holding on to the outside of my thigh, and I've got the other arm busy doing these shoulder rolls. Pay attention to how your neck feels. Find the rhythm of your breath. Simple as this is, when we can add the connection breath to movement, you know, the more effective that is in our body. Okay, we'll stop the shoulder roll and just hold it for a moment. Turn your head to look over that shoulder as much as it'll go. You honor that stop sign. When you can't turn it anymore, you'll just stop and deepen the breath. We're going to unwind the head first and keep your shoulder back. Hold that for a moment. So you just took your head out of the twist. Shoulders are still in it. And we'll come back to neutral. I want you to squeeze and release as a way to reset the body. If there's another way you want to reset it, please, I invite you to do that. Good. Let's come back to the T. Just open up wide, extend your hands, open wide again, turning your head, just noticing now, turning your head side to side. Press your feet to the floor, squeeze your block, deepen your breath. That's the recipe. And one more full breath cycle. Again, bringing your elbows into your waistline. I want you to just turn a little bit side to side, gently holding the platter, the imaginary platter here, as we gently roll from side to side. I'm going to turn to the other side now, turning to your right. And then just relax your hands, relax your arms in your hands. And let's start the shoulder roll now. So you're going to get the other shoulder to start rolling back and down, back and down. Might feel different on this side. See if you can find that balance in your pelvis. Make sure you're not leaning. You want to balance your pelvis right to left so you can feel like you kept that up, that you didn't lose that connection of the balanced pelvis. And then sometimes it means you have to adjust because sure enough, you were leaning. So then you make that adjustment. Try to exaggerate your shoulder roll now. So we're loosening up the shoulder blade on this side. And then we'll just discontinue the shoulder roll and set it up now. Get your hand as far back behind you as you are able and finding your twist until you're up against the stop sign. See what you can soften and also see what you can invite in. Where could there maybe that you find a little more movement, a little more opening? And you'll know that by your breath as you breathe in and out, and you can find again the rhythm and the ease of your breath. You know, you're right in line with your body's ability. Let's exhale completely. We're going to turn our head, come out of the twist, but the shoulders stay in the twist. Get long and tall with your spine. And let's come out of that back into our forward facing position. And let's do our shoulder rolls the other way now. So we're going to be pulling the shoulders forward and back. So pulling them forward and then, so you're spreading your shoulder blades apart back there. Hands on the lap. One way to do it, you could have your arms right alongside the frame of the chair. Just adds a little more effort to it because your arms are heavier if you relax them down alongside the chair. Good. Let's come back up and bring palms together up and overhead. Take a big breath in with me. Exhale as you bow to your own heart. Inhale up and exhale. Take a big sweeping action to come all the way down. Let's do a couple of those. Feels pretty good. Inhaling up. Exhale, go as far back in your arms as you can, coming all the way down. Last time, inhaling up. Exhale, big sweeping action all the way down. Interlace your hands so you can flip your hands so palms are stretching out in front. Let's lift those palms up to the ceiling. So stretch through your fingers and your wrists, do a slight tilt from one side to the other. Just find a nice little pattern here. Kind of the pace is up to you as you go from one side to the other. I like to keep my arms as close to the head and ears as I can because it just feels like it's giving me a nice little protection, I guess, for the neck. So I know I'm nice and stable. And extending the arms with as little bend in the elbow as you can, side to side. Let's unravel those hands. And then when we come out of it, it's open and close, open and close. Add some kind of circular movements with your wrists. So you're, moving through your fingers, moving through the wrists as your arms come all the way down. Good. I want us to do something different that at least I can't remember doing for quite some time, but it's a movement of your eyes, which is really useful. There's going to be a fair amount of what I worked into this practice today is that crossing the body, moving one limb to the other side of the body, this kind of action where we're crossing through the midline with our legs, with our limbs, with our intention. We're going to be doing that kind of thing. And this movement of the eyes, it plays into the same sort of usefulness in our body. It's a little bit different. It's not, we're not crossing the midline, but you'll see what I'm talking about here. So just eyeballs, just think about that. It's not turning your head. It doesn't have anything to do with turning your head. It's simply your eyeballs. And if you're having difficulty, just one thing you could do is just, hold your thumb out and put it out in front. And so your eyes are focused on your thumb. And as you move your hand off center, you move your thumb, you're going to let your eyeballs follow that thumb. So you're looking over there. And I want you to go as far over as you can, and you still can, yep, kind of see that thumb. So your head is completely facing forward. You don't turn your head to go looking at it. You keep your head completely facing forward, but your eyeballs are looking over toward that thumb. Now work with that a little bit. Just hold it there. Look far over there. Eyeballs are stretching over to that side. Find your breath. Don't hold your breath. Exhale completely. Take it easy. Now we're going to lift the thumb up a little bit. So you're looking over there, but now up. So it's over and up. Find your breath again. And don't worry, doesn't have to be perfect. You don't, just do your best. Looking over there, eyeballs are moving, but your head is not moving. And this arm extended and the thumb pointing up, if that becomes exhausting, you don't need to do it. It's just a way to kind of keep you on task. So the hand doesn't have to be up there. Let's settle that breath down. Stay with me now. Now it's going to go low. We're going to go down, down, down. And so your eyeballs have moved all around from middle to an upward stretch with those eyes, moving down now. Beautiful. Relax your hand back to your lap. Bring your eyes back to center, maybe blink a little bit here and reset the body. If there's anything your body seems to need after that, give your body a little reset. And then we're going to do the other side. So I'm just going to switch hands. I got my thumb out there and we'll just see. Keep your head steady. You're not moving your head. You're not going to do the only thing moving is your eyeballs, moving off center as far off to the side as you can. And then you just keep looking over there. Yeah, you can see your nose, right? Even though one eye is kind of looking at your nose, but you're just keeping it kind of at shoulder height, just as a way to start the level of the eyes. Now deepen the breath. Don't hold your breath. Keep looking, eyeballs only. Don't turn your head. And remember, you don't have to have your thumb held out like this. Purely optional. Exhale completely. We're going to go up. We're going to let that thumb stretch up a little bit, reach up. And so the eyes have to change. Yep. You might find it different one side to the other. I think I'm finding that difference. The movement of my eyes on this side feels quite different than the other side. I don't know why exactly, but exhale completely. Stay with the breath. Just eyeballs. That's it. Eyeballs. And then we're going to go lower. Try not to turn your head. Very tempting. Go lower, but you got to look over to something that you're kind of chosen to stare at. So that's kind of the benefit of having your thumb extended like that. And then deepen the breath. Calm down. Relax something. Go back to just letting your eyeballs turn in this direction, roll in this direction. One more full breath. Let's bring our hand back to our lap. Let our eyes come back to center. Blink, blink, blink. Any kind of reset your body needs. Let's take that block now and move it underneath the chair. So let's get it out of the way. And we're going to bring our hands to our shoulders. Elbows are elevated. And we're going to do a real quick breath practice. You might remember this one. It comes from the Kundalini tradition. As you turn, you're taking an inhale. And what would be best is as you turn towards your left, that's the inhale. And as you turn towards your right, that's your exhale. Can you do that? Inhale is turning towards your left. Exhale, turn towards your right, and it moves like that. So it's quick. Inhale, exhale. Try to do this through your nose. If you can do all the breathing through your nose, and it's this kind of place, it's inhale, exhale, inhale. It goes like that. So see if you can find that movement. Keep your feet planted to the floor and begin. Probably going to need a Kleenex after this, right? All that snuffing around. It's okay. It's good for us. So just see if you can do it. And if you've lost interest in that, stay with the breath any way you manage it. This is crisscrossing through the center. So we are doing some of that movement already here. A couple more now. Good job, everybody. Let's come back to center, and I want you to just circle that out. Just circle those elbows up and around. See if you can do it. I've just noticed myself tucking my head, ducking my head. See if you can keep your head upright while you do the circles. Change the direction of the circle. Those elbows circling up, back, and down. Let's keep those hands up there on the shoulders, and we'll do some crisscrossing as we bring ourselves into some crunching action through the abdominal wall. So crisscross, touch as low to the thigh or the side of your knee as you can. Go all the way down and all the way back up. So we're bringing elbow to knee, elbow to knee. Find the rhythm of breath that makes sense to you. Elbow has to drop all the way down to the knee or the side of the knee. Couple more now. Stay with me. And then instead of bringing elbow to knee, let's see if we can help out and make the knee come to the elbow a bit. So now we're going to raise up. So the knee is kind of trying to come to the elbow. And I want you to do this at as quick a pace as you feel comfortable doing. So if for you that means it's just your regular movement, that is its pace. But if you're game for a little bit more cardio work, you'll try to pick up your pace. Just see if that works for you today. Last time, each one gets to tap on the knee one more time, and we're back. Now let's take a big sweeping action to release those shoulders that we've kept up there for quite some time. Let's do it again. Inhaling up way back there, exhaling all the way down. Maybe the head has to move all the way down. Good. Let's make sure we've got ourselves situated so our legs are within the frame of the chair. We're not wide. We're going to lift those arms straight up, palms facing forward, and I want you to lift and crisscross. So you're going to change legs. Both hands are reaching toward the foot or the ankle, whatever you can touch, but do touch something just as a way to connect. You can just feel the rhythm of your body a little differently because you've made contact. So touch something. Straight leg, best you can, straight leg, straight arms. One more tap on each foot or each leg. Come all the way up, all the way up. Let's take that big sweeping action all the way around. Go slow so you can really feel the shift. And any kind of movement your body needs as a reset. Let's take our wide stance now. We're going to work the perineum. So take your wide stance, heels in, toes out. You're going to be bringing yourself into that diagonal line. Squeeze your elbows in towards your waist. You can tell I need a little Kleenex break here. So bringing your back body into that diagonal line. And you can figure out, now, we've done this often enough that You know, maybe your best posture is quite low, that you bring your chest down there quite low, or you've just found exactly where you want to be, but it's going to be at an angle. Okay, make sure your head is in line with your spine, and we're going to press our hands into our thighs and lift the perineum up off that chair seat. Hold it, exhale, relax back into your chair. So let's begin. As you just press your feet to the floor, you can feel that engagement of those adductor muscles of the inner thighs, lifting your perineum up, and you hold, retain, and relax it back. So we're all doing our own thing. You hold it as long as you want to and can. Use tapas here. This is for sure one of those times when we're going to stay with it because it's so good for the body. It's so good for us to just maintain this good tone of our pelvic floor so that the organs that are housed there are well supported and can function better. They can function the way they're intended to because they're held properly and supported there in your pelvis. So trying to, you know, we're squeezing, we're doing actions that is contracting, and I want you to see if you can just keep the contraction where you want it. So it's not like your whole body, you're not gritting your teeth, you're not squeezing your shoulders. You're trying to just focus that contraction right there at the pelvic floor and those inner thighs. One more, lift and hold, hold, and release. And we're going to come all the way down to look under the chair. So get your arms in between your legs, look down, 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 and underneath your chair. See if you can sweep your hands around the outside ankles. So go behind your heels and outside, and you're just sort of wrapping yourself in. So you've got your arms and your legs sort of wrapped around each other. Your hands, I got my hands just laying on top of my feet. See what you can do. Surrender the weight of your head. Deep breaths now, deep belly breaths. Release the weight of your head. One more time, release, because it kind of takes step-by-step process, doesn't it? You know, you initially, you're sort of guarded, but eventually we can surrender. Beautiful. Let's get those hands out. Now, one at a time, comes to the thighs, squeeze your elbows into your waistline. We're to come to that halfway mark again. Come up a little higher, maybe if you're used to coming quite low for that work of the perineum. Bring it up a little bit so it's at a diagonal line. Let your arms come away from your legs into that position like we just spread our wings. Make sure your neck is okay. So managing the weight of your head, you're making sure you've got your head held. You are actively holding your head in a particular way. That's what's going to be safest, more comfortable if you pay attention to that. Press your feet like crazy so you can really feel the thighs. You can feel the strong muscles of your legs engaging. Now, make a choice of either reaching your hands out in front of you, press your feet, or for those of you who can reach up, try that one. So it's up to you. And maybe you're going to have one arm, and then in a minute, you'll take the other arm. Those are various ways that you can make your own adjustments. Let it work for you. Bring yourself up, and palms will come together up there overhead. Hold it now as you find your breath in and out. And when we release it, we're coming into the goddess position with the elbows bent. Now see if you can get your feet a little further apart. So your knees are opening wider, and we've got our arms in the goddess position here. We're going to open and close. So starting that movement, just keep your feet planted for now. Right elbow is going to come underneath, right elbow underneath, and then just wrap your hands in some way. So you've stacked your elbows at the crease, one's underneath the other. It doesn't matter which arm because we're going to do both. So you're just noticing which arm is underneath so you can remember to do it the other way. Now lift that up and down. Lift that up and down. See how far up you can go, and you're going to even let your head tilt back. So we bound our arms together now, and we're just lifting up and down. One more lift. Come back to center. Let's unravel all that. Come all the way out, arms alongside your chair. Let your arms shake it out. Any kind of shoulder roll or reset your body might need. And this time when we come into our goddess, we're going to see if we can open and close both the arms and the legs. So I had to scoot up a little bit. So you're going to bring your arms and legs together and then open, close. Take your time with this. Just find your way that you can do it. And if they're not going to go together, take some time where you're just doing your legs and then you're just doing your arms. That would be a way you could just kind of make your own adjustment. We're going to meet in the open position. So open up your legs. Make sure your feet are close enough to the chair that you really feel them connected. You can feel the imprint. We want to do the other arm underneath now. So come the other way, wrap it around. So you've changed to the other arm is underneath, and you stack those elbows in the same movement up and down. As far up as you can, and your head goes back and down. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, reaching up. How's that? Beautiful. Let's come back to center as we unravel all that. Go nice and slow and easy. Get your arms alongside the chair. Any kind of movement your body needs to reset the body, here's our time to do it. Before we stand up, I want us to just move into the knees a little bit. So I want you to just straighten and bend, straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Take that off to the side. And come back to center. We'll switch legs. It's just straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Just this action right here. It lubricates the knee joint. I do this many times a day. I'm not joking. Off to the side. Straighten and bend. Beautiful. When we come back, both feet are on the floor. Let's just rock ourselves back and lift your bottom up off the chair. So roll back, get your feet up there, come back upright. We're going to meet in the chair position. That means you're going to meet with knees bent, hands on the thighs. I want you to push your hands and your straight arms into those legs. Lift your chest up and breathe. Feel that for a minute. Now hands are going to come to the prayer position in front of the chest bone. Breathe. So it feels like, you're just hovering above the chair seat. If this hurts your knees, you got to pull your butt way back. And if that adjustment doesn't work for you, don't do it. Just stand right up. I don't want you to do anything that's going to give your knees problems. So pulling your body weight away from the knees is the ticket. But if that's just not available to you, just don't do it. Let's come all the way up now. Palms are together overhead. We're kind of finding our mountain position. Is making sure your feet are straight and they're parallel to each other. Inhale with me, exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale up, exhale, come all the way down. Beautiful. We're going to just use the chair now. I'm going to move my block out of the way. I don't think I'm going to need it. We're going to use the chair for these balancing poses that I talked about, but we're going to start with triangle. So I've got the chair seat. That's what I have access to by touching it. Let's open into a wide straddle and turn the foot that's closest to the chair. Rotate that foot so the toes are pointing toward the chair. The other foot is just like it was, toes are pointing forward. Start by just bending and straightening. Good. And then this is a straight-legged posture. This is called Trikonasana, triangle pose. And we're going to use it this way, where we're going to bring our hand to the chair seat. Shoulders are kind of stacked, both legs are straight. Ear kind of lines up with your hand on that chair. And the upper hand is reaching up. I want you to really take notice of how you're turning your head, because I want you to make sure it feels like your spine is lined up. So from the tailbone right through the crown of your head, you want to trace that line with your awareness, that it's in alignment. Now, if this is like super tight in there, it feels like it's tethered, then you're going to offer a little bend of that knee. Or you can kind of keep working it where, you have a straight leg and it's like, that's too tight. I think I'm going to come and go. I'm going to give it a stretch, and then I got to bend that knee. Now pull that top arm back a little bit, back toward the wall behind you, just a little bit, and let your back of your head go with it, just a bit. It's not big, but you can feel the difference in your body. Now here's where we need a nice stable chair. We're going to get both hands on the chair, and we want to make sure it's not moving, because we're going to get that back leg up and off the floor. So you're balancing on one leg. Both hands on the chair. Get your bearings. If you're doing this, you might not choose to do it, because the other hand can eventually come on up. Straight legs, straight arms. Make sure your head, neck, and spine feel in alignment. Let's give it one full breath. And we're going to bring both hands to the floor, both feet to the floor. Take a pause, bent knees, and then we'll come back up. Stand right where you are next to your chair. Catch up with your breath. Let your body adjust. Blood pressure might have changed a bit, so take a moment. Don't be in a hurry. I moved my chair to the other side so you can see me. You might not have to do that. We're taking our wide stance. We're going to rotate so our foot that's closest to the chair, other side, of course, is pointing toward the chair. The other foot has stayed the same. We're just going to bend and straighten. I'm a little too close. Just bend and straighten. So bring yourself into an upright position. You want to feel strong here. Upright you are. But this is done straight legs, triangle pose, 2 straight legs. You're going to bring your hand to the chair seat. Make sure, you're close enough to it. You get to sit, kind of just adjust. So it feels like, okay, that feels good. Shoulders are stacked. Arm can reach up. Pay attention to how your neck feels, how you're managing the weight of your head. Find that find that long line from tailbone up to the back of the head, up to the crown. That should be in alignment. And again, if it feels so tethered, that inner thigh of that front straight leg is like, man, then bend a little bit. Maybe straighten it, or maybe just bending, because it's like, it's not going to make, I got to keep it bent. Maybe that's your solution. I want you to bring that upper arm back just a bit toward the wall behind you. Back of your head just a bit toward the wall behind you. Find your full breath in and your full breath out. Beautiful. Now, as we come down, that arm's going to come down. We're going to get both hands on that chair. Make sure you're close enough to it. That chair's not going anywhere. It's nice and solid so that you can lift the back leg up. Toe should be pointing to the wall in front of you. Take your time with it. Make sure you feel steady. And maybe just getting the leg up in the air is all that you have access to today. And it's wonderful. It's powerful, isn't it? But lift that leg up. If you can lift both, get your other arm up, great. Feel that length of your spine. Deepen your breath. Don't hold your breath. You got to find it. Super powerful pose. Good job. Let's get both hands back to the chair, both feet back to the floor. Bend your knees and bring yourself upright nice and easy, and just wait. Once you're upright, you pause. Deepen your breath. When you're ready, turn your chair so you have access to the seat of the chair. Let's do our downward facing dog. Both hands are going to be on that chair seat. We're going to stretch back. Feet should be parallel. Be fussy about how your feet are. I like to have your hands and your feet the same distance apart. And arms are as close to your head as you can. So that'll help. I think starting with your hands tells you where to put your feet. Let's straighten out those knees. See if you can straighten out a little bit. Maybe it's just once in a while I can get my right leg to straighten, and then I can get my left leg to straighten. All of that works beautifully. Stretch it out. Breathe through it all. See if you can just feel the power in your body, the strength in your body. We're going to start walking toward the chair. And when we come to the chair, we're going to keep ourselves right here. Hands are on the chair seat. So you're in a tabletop position. The back of the body creates this tabletop. Your arms are like table legs. I want you to bend your knee and drop your face toward that bent knee, and then straighten the leg out, lift the head. So a couple of those movements, rounding the back, face comes towards your knee, and you straighten the leg out behind you. Couple more. It's a version of doing the cow-cat kind of movement from your spine and extended back. Both feet to the floor. Take a little, movement. Let's get the hips to go side to side. Let's take a little break. And then we're going to do the other side. So extend the leg back, round that back body so your face can come towards your bent knee. Extend and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Last time, inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Both feet to the floor, quite bend knees. Keep your head low. We're going to come up one vertebrae at a time. Go slow. Right where you are, you stand up, you find your breath. Don't move. Feel your body now, just finding its adjustments as you breathe in and breathe out. It's time for Shavasana. So if you're going to grab a second chair, you want to go do that. So you can prop your legs up or just find yourself on your couch or however you do it. This is the time now to move towards Shavasana. Of course, if your body is needing another stretch, there's just something else that you wish you would have done or had the time to do, this is the time to do it. Just take a moment to just let your body adjust itself. Follow that Guru Dev, that inner guide within us. That's your best teacher. That's where wisdom resides. So you want to be leaning back into the chair so you feel very supported. Take your time with it and be fussy. I think it's nice to have, it just feels ritualistic to you that you're just taking your time, getting your shawl or your cover or your, socks back on your feet or whatever it is that just gives you that idea of giving yourself this a time and attention. So it feels very special to you. And always just keeping quiet, don't get busy, don't communicate with the other people in your house. If you can avoid it, just stay with this ritual now because we're almost there. We're just giving ourselves this 1 hour. So we want to be completely tuned in to the experience from start to finish. Notice how your breath is slowed down. I want you to start with a mantra, leaning back into the chair or however it is you found lots of support and warmth, eyes closed. The mantra just in and out. That has become sacred to me. The series that I use as a mantra, I can quiet myself in the middle of a Walmart. It's like I have a sacred connection to this mantra. In and out, and feel it in your body. In and out. And let every breath relax you deeper into into this experience. That every breath seems to allow you or give you permission to let go of the holding, of the resistance. And you just start breath by breath, finding even more letting go available to you. Relax your shoulders. Maybe because when we're together and doing this class, I would put my hands on your shoulders. Maybe you bring your own hands to your shoulders and you just sort of let the weight of your arms pull down into that, and it's soothing. It reminds you of how much more you could release in that shoulder area. So you're tuned in, you're very tuned in to the experience of the soma, the somatic experience. And that's the beauty, the benefit, the absolute jewel of a yoga practice, is that we come out of the thinking mind and into the feeling heart and body. I want to read the reading for today, March 11th. As you just relax now, we're going to change the mantra. Inhale deep, exhale slow. Let that be your guide for your breath, that it's now deep and slow. Deep, exhale slow. Today's reading begins with this quote: "What most of us want is to be heard, communicate. The need to know that we count in the lives of others, that our presence has not gone unnoticed, is universal. Few of us are blessed from birth with full knowledge of our connectedness to all life. Instead, we falter and fumble our way through our experiences, uncertain of our worth and meaning. Acceptance by others is our want. Unconditional love is our due. Since we all share this same need to be acknowledged, it's best we each offer acknowledgement to those sharing our experiences today. They aren't unlike us. Their needs and insecurities match our own. We'd all survive the harsh bumps of life with so much greater ease if we felt the comfort of others. In the company of others, nothing is too much for any one of us to handle. Today, I'll remember that others need my comfort and willingness to listen just as much as I need theirs." Stay with your mantra. Relax into the support that's beneath you. Stay with your body. We're going to change the mantra one last time. This time I would like you to, I'll invite you to layer your hand palm over palm right at the chest bone, there at the heart center. And our mantra becomes calm and ease. Inhale, calm. Exhale, ease. Feel your hands stacked right at the heart center, the warmth, the love and beauty of that space of compassion, that space of generosity, that space of love, calm, ease. Can you feel the calm? Can you feel the ease in your body? Soften your shoulders. Easy breath. Softness in your mouth. Feel the calm. Feel the ease. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. An invitation for peace, peace, peace. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of the mouth with a big sigh. Ah. Do that 2 more times. You're making noise now. You want to have a big breath in and sigh that breath out. Come forward on your chair, maybe get your feet to the floor. Bring yourself back so you feel like you're back into right alignment with your spine, your head held high. Gently now, just roll your head around. Just pay attention now, mindfully moving your head, feeling the sensation through your neck. Pay attention. It's a very much of an inside job. So you're paying attention to what you're experiencing. The intention here is to release and relax through the neck. And let's bring ourselves back to center. Let's sync up our breath one last time. Inhale with me, palms come together up and overhead. Exhale, bow to your own heart. Inhale up. And as we exhale, we're going to share this beautiful, peaceful energy with our community. Bringing your hands to the prayer position. Bow to yourself, bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thank you so much for joining me.